Welcome to my Saturday morning midlife crisis, where cartoons are out, coffee's in, and Saturdays are super again. I'm Austine.
And I'm Alex. And today we are going to be getting into the Supergirl review. But before we get into that, we are going to talk about some popcorn topics.
Popcorn. Wow. So many things.
So many things.
So many things. I feel like last time we did kind of like rapid fire. I almost feel like a little bit of rapid fire again.
Let's do it.
And then we can touch a little bit more if you want. The biggest thing that most, I guess, people are going to be talking about, but I don't actually have a lot to say, surprisingly, is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are now married.
I'm a little shocked that you have very little to say because you are a huge Swiftie.
I am a big Swiftie from this fact of I've grown up with her music.
Yeah.
I've loved all her music. We were fortunate enough to go to the concert, and I'm so grateful, and it was an amazing, amazing experience. However, I have had no time to be all up in her business about her wedding because I'm not going. I can't get to go. I feel like, to be honest, booking Madison Square Garden, there was like 2 days of potentially like production, like them. There's theories out there of like what the set is. And one very, I think, words of wisdom that was spoken to me before I got married was the more you spend on the wedding, the shorter the marriage.
Interesting.
And I hope that's not the case for them. I believe in love. I believe that they are meant for each other, but I have to say that has always held true. The people that I've been around in my life that have spent more on their wedding, their marriage has been shorter, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So not in all cases.
I will say maybe there is an exception for Taylor Swift because no matter who it is she's marrying, and even if it's probably her fifth wedding, it probably would be just as big.
Yeah, maybe.
She is a little like that.
She is. So, I mean, I'll be excited to see the photos. Don't get me wrong. I'll be all into, like, what was her dress? What was it like?
Don't worry.
But
I'm sure she's probably going to release some sort of documentary about it.
that's what people are thinking because
Exactly.
it was so top secret.
Well, not just top secret. That's just Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That's she tries to make money off of every aspect of her life.
And I mean, good for her. I'd like to have a life that
Yeah.
could make money off of every aspect.
Yeah, I guess I should say this isn't a point of judgment. This is a point of jealousy coming from me.
But I think my thing is I believe in love so much, but I do think it's very intimate and personal.
Yeah.
And I do think that they're caught in a hard spot being a celebrity. I mean, who do you not invite for it to turn into something negative? So I get that. But I also feel like 1,000 people in Madison Square Garden seems to be nuts.
A bit excessive.
A bit excessive. But I heard they did a lot of charities and stuff. So, I mean, you have to find the balance. There's always going to be criticism everywhere. So that was first popcorn topic. Congrats to them.
Congratulations.
I heard when one of the very first things I heard when they first started dating was like, yeah, they're getting married because you don't go from theater boys and then go to a man and leave the man. And I was like,
football player now.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, they're right. They're getting married. So that was the first. But really why I haven't been able to be consumed with Taylor Swift has been the World Cup is happening. And honestly, what's more important than the World Cup right now? Nothing in my world.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious. I probably have my like infamous black eye because I haven't been sleeping, because the games are so late and I'm trying to stay up for all of them. And literally my afternoon from like, depending on the time of the game, 1, 3 o'clock to like midnight has been every single day for like a few weeks now. And it has been just the most wonderful World Cup to watch. And more specifically, last night's game. And I know this is going to air further out, so I'm referring to the Argentina Cape Verde game that happened last night. The most beautiful, iconic game of soccer. This will be in the history books. It's already being referred. I mean, immediately after the game ended, the commentators, social media, everybody was like, this game will be remembered for a lifetime. It will be a game that people refer back to over and over and over again. And for me, I mean, yay, go US. I am definitely rooting for the US team. I hope we go as far as possible.
Yeah.
But my top teams and favorites to watch are obviously the US, Argentina with Messi. I've always loved Brazil, Mexico, but France plays beautiful soccer almost every game. So I'd be not speaking my truth if I wasn't saying, Mbappe, let's go.
Can I tell you, though, what my favorite experience so far of the World Cup has been?
What?
Have you seen the fan from Japan that went into the wrong fan section?
Wait, is he the one that said I'm excited?
No.
Oh, then no, I didn't.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to show you a bunch of videos. I'll probably stitch it here. But there was, I think they were playing Brazil, and he was in the wrong he got a seat in the wrong audience, and so it's just a bunch of photos and videos of him screaming and crying, and all Brazil fans being like, "Oh, it's okay, buddy," and he's just like, "Ah," and it's the funniest thing ever.
But okay. I love Brazil, so I'm crying. Come on! Shut the fuck up!
So I have been completely consumed by the World Cup. I loved the USA game, so we watched that. It was so much fun. The Balogun red card is awful. By the time this recording airs, we'll see how awful, or if we can have the U.S. team pull through, which, come on, guys, you can do it. They play Monday night, and I'm excited to see that game. But that was a huge deal. I think that was a terrible use of the VR assistant that they've been using this World Cup. I think it was an awful call. But besides that, it's been an amazing World Cup to watch. That. Like, epic, so exciting. And then today, France plays. So I'm hyped. Hyped. So then I had a couple other topics.
Okay.
Odyssey is coming out. We've been so focused on Tom Holland and Zendaya in Spider-Man, which that should be the focus. But I don't want to overlook the Odyssey. That is something that I've always enjoyed.
And that's awesome, because I don't know if you know this, but that's also something I've always enjoyed.
No, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, so in high school, I've actually read it twice. Now, obviously you know this, but other people who may not know me, but my high school was split up between two different high schools. And so there was a point where in one grade, I had to read it for English class. Okay. And then when I went to the other school in a new grade, I had to read it again for their class.
You mean when you moved?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When I switched schools.
I was like, wait, why would they split your high school up?
Are you serious right now, bro?
I didn't think I had to explain it to you, but okay, yeah. So I moved. I went to two different high schools. Reminder. Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
So
you
therefore,
all left me.
Yeah, we left you. So therefore, I had to read the Odyssey twice for two different English classes. But I personally love the Odyssey. Yeah. And I also love the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which a lot of people don't realize that is a play off of the Odyssey.
I didn't watch that.
You've never seen that with George Clooney?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's so funny. It's a comedy, and it's not exactly the Odyssey, but it's the tale of the Odyssey told through a different aspect, through a different lens. Yeah.
So are you going next weekend?
Yeah.
Not next
it's
weekend?
The 17th.
The 17th.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I definitely want to go see it. Yeah. So we're making plans to see
So then
it.
I'm the third wheel again?
No.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see it. I think that's something we can review because I'm excited. Like, that's a movie that I'll definitely go see. And I think it's a movie where it's going to be best seen in the theater.
Oh,
in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
It's one of those movies that there are movies where you go, I can wait till streaming. Or back in our day, it was wait till DVD or VHS.
Wait a year and a half later for Christmas.
But now it's just, I can wait for it to come out on streaming. But then there are some movies where I think to myself, regardless if I think it's going to be good or bad, it's one I know I should experience in the theaters. Oppenheimer was one of those. I had to go see it in theaters, and I'm happy I saw that one in theaters.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have the Odyssey and what was the other one that you had brought to me about Tobey?
Yeah, Tobey McGuire, my childhood Spider-Man. I guess him and Ice Spice were spotted together kissing. Are they dating or
No. So it was theorized that
What do
they
you
were
mean?
smooching, but then their reps came out and said no, they were sharing like a vape or something.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so they're not dating. They weren't smooching. They were just sharing like a vape or something
Oh.
like that. Yeah, so it was not as crazy as what people were saying. But I have to say, the photos that people were producing through like ChatGPT or other AI channels were hilarious. Like I was dying.
I have not seen these photos.
Well, yeah, I have I have an example of at least one I can show you because it was pretty good.
Stop it. No, not the infamous kiss. No.
It was hilarious. So for a moment, it was a thing, but it's already died. And
That's so
good, and
funny.
I'm happy that it died because I was gonna have a lot of negative things to say if it was that case.
Yeah.
I would not have liked it.
Yeah, that would have been the oddest couple ever. It was one that I was never going to expect on my 2026 bingo card.
No,
So-
and kind of gross. Like,
Yeah,
kinda
I was
gross.
like, I really hope to see Tobey in Doomsday. What I'm not expecting to see is Tobey and Ice Spice walk in the premiere carpet for Doomsday.
together.
When you kissed her, who was kissing her? Spider-Man or Peter?
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
Moving on.
Well, moving on, but not too fast yet, because just want to take a moment to say that we are filming today on the 4th of July.
Yeah,
So
happy 4th.
Happy
Oh,
4th
my-
of July
my
to
entire-
everyone that is celebrating.
Yeah, happy 4th of July. It's 250th birthday.
Yeah, so we are celebrating.
With
we have
grapefruit juice.
We have a morning grapefruit juice that we are sipping on and enjoying, and helping us loosen up a bit.
Yeah. So I'm excited for the 4th of July. It's unfortunately not my favorite holiday, so I would be lying if I said that it was.
It never really has
And
been yours
never.
growing up.
I just don't like kabooms, and this
Right.
whole
But I will
day
say
is full of kabooms.
This year does feel a little different because of the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
it
there is a little bit extra there. But that's really all I have to say, though. But happy 4th of July. So
Yeah, happy 4th of July, and I hope everybody checks out our post, or we'll have seen it by
Our
then.
Captain America
that was
4th of July
That
post.
was a really, really good post.
Thank
so
you.
share it with all of your friends, even if it's past the 4th. Great, so let's get into it. Supergirl.
I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no people.
yes.
You went to watch it. I went to watch it.
Yes.
It was, do we want to start with what I thought or you thought, or how do you want to do it?
I guess let's
Because it was.
Let's
and
give
then
it
it's
an
like dot.
an overall
Rating?
A 1 out of 10. What would you give it?
I'm gonna say, can I say 7.8?
I say 7.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say a 7.8. I would say after reflecting, because I always need time to digest.
Mhm.
It wasn't quite an 8, 9, or a 10 for me, but
Mm-hmm.
it was probably a good 7, but 7 feels too low. So I'm gonna say 7.8.
7 does feel too low. I agree with that. I say 7.5 because, in my opinion, it is a solid superhero movie, a solid origin story movie, but it's not something that's going to blow your socks off either.
No.
So it's solid, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you a question, because this was a question that I had planned for you.
Okay.
But I was going to save it to later, but now that you're in this, is it too late for DC?
No.
And I asked that, and you responded very quickly, but continuously for years, we're how many years into the MCU universe? And people are going to show up for these movies.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, I was trying to get into the app to buy the tickets right when they went on sale, and it said I had an hour wait. Like, it kept glitching. Like, it was something was amiss when I was trying to get those tickets. That level of enthusiasm is not matched by the DC world. So how does DC do this? Are you sure that it's not too late? Because the fans are not enough. You have to, my business side is like, you have to commercialize this. We're not bridging that gap to the general public.
So this is why I believe what I believe. DC may not be successful in a lot of their live action movies, but they are very successful in a lot of other aspects of their company. So I bring that up to say that they do have revenue coming in other aspects for the DC brand. What DC Studios needs to do is keep going. They need to be relentless, and they need to keep going.
With James Gunn.
I don't care with whoever. It could have been Zack Snyder. It could have been James Gunn. Or it can be James Gunn. It could be someone completely new. I don't care. But whatever story arc, whatever vision that they're trying to do, stick with it.
Yeah.
Don't do one.
Push it forward.
Yeah, don't do one and then go, no one showed up for it. So let's change what the second one or the sequels or what the direction's going to be. Stick to your guns. I promise you. It's what is that Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. They just need to stick their guns, show us what they're trying to do. Some people aren't going to show up because they don't have that track record. So they're going to have to take those box office hits. But once it gets to streaming, once when they've put out, a couple of those sequels and stuff, and people go, okay, wait a minute. I've had a chance to watch these at home. The past 3 I've really enjoyed at home. Now this fourth movie in the DC world I'm going to go see. I know that's a lot of money to be holding out on. But that's why I feel like there is still hope for DC, because if fans would just give them that chance and let them tell the stories that they're trying to tell without any kind of external influence,
let them show you the art and then judge the art. That's, I think, where I'm coming from. So I think that's fair. So, and that's what we said.
DC tells great stories. Their comic books are amazing. Their characters are incredible. And it's just so sad that fans won't, even DC fans won't give them a chance.
Well, I think it goes back to, you have to bridge that mainstream. You have to have the fandom, but you have to bridge to mainstream and be able to give the chance. I think you're right. When Iron Man came out, that wasn't something I was in the theaters for. The second one came out, I wasn't in the theaters for, but have I watched those a million times now? Absolutely. And I think when we watched Superman, whatever it was, a couple of weekends ago ahead of Supergirl, I liked that. I would revisit that. And Supergirl, I would revisit this movie. It was a good movie. It invoked, like I always say, it has to make me feel something, or I have to sit back and go, oh, that was amazing. Again, I don't think for this one I'm going to sit back and go, oh, that was amazing. It wasn't a 10 out of 10, but it was a solid 7.8. And it was because, how did I feel? It invoked emotion. Your best bud got emotional during it, which when that happens, it always as a mom,
okay, we'll get to that point then.
Hurts my heart, but in a happy, sorrowful way.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Let's just review. Let's hit the high levels, because I don't want to spoil it too much for people. I mean, there are spoilers in this, but I think we can keep it at a high level. Yeah. So what's the point of this story?
Of the story?
Yeah. I mean, it's her origin story. So beyond this, what happened at the beginning?
What I would say is the point of the comic book storyline of Woman of Tomorrow was Supergirl was trying to teach Ruth how to cope with her own emotions and how to overcome grief. Okay. In the Woman of Tomorrow comic book, Supergirl could have stopped everything from happening a lot quicker, a lot sooner. In the comic book, Crypto is poisoned, just like he is in the movie. However, because who he is, he was able to heal from it and recover from it. Ruth didn't realize this. Supergirl did know this. And so there was no actual real concern from Supergirl in the back of her mind. She was going on this adventure and using crypto as an excuse to help Ruth out, to help her cope and stuff like this. In this, they were just a little bit more on the nose of it, where crypto was actually poisoned and it was actually a race against time, that they did need to get an antidote for it, which I think is better. I think it increases the stakes there.
Yeah. And now Ruth is, when you're talking about vengeance, she is trying to avenge her family, who was completely taken out in front of her by...
And in the comics, it was just her dad.
Okay.
So, and she didn't have a brother in the comics, but in the movie, it was her whole family by Creme of the Yellow Hills.
I always like when a character that's a villain is a villain, and he was a villain.
Yeah, he was. And what I actually like more so about villains, of course, you got to have a couple of those I'm taking over the world, I want world domination kind of villains. You got to have a couple of those. But a lot of my favorite ones aren't those kind of villains. They're the ones that have some kind of they're just bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're just a villain.
Yeah.
And that's what he was to me.
He's just a bad person.
That was my impression. So he takes her whole family out. So then she goes to find Supergirl, and you kind of explained the overall sense of the book, or of the book in the movie, which I think it played true, because she definitely references grief with Ruth.
Yeah.
But when Ruth first finds her, she is celebrating her birthday.
Yeah. And
on a red planet.
Yeah.
Or with a red planet? Or
a red sun.
A red sun, yeah.
Yes. Because that's how Kryptonians get their powers, through, the solar radiation, and that
a yellow sun.
The different types of suns give out different types of UV radiation, and how they absorb it in their skin is how then their body reacts to it.
And the red sun really makes them feel more human-like, which was why she was having her cocktails.
Yep.
And
she was getting drunk. In the comics, I believe it's her 21st birthday, and in this one, it's her 23rd birthday. But it's not just her 23rd birthday, because we see several messages from Superman. She was on a bender.
She was gone. So what we saw with Supergirl, especially when they're trying to do the origin story and connect the two very quickly, I liked what they did. So basically, we know from the movie that she's been to Earth now. Supergirl is known by Earth. That's how she gets her costume that we see in the movie. Yep. We know that we have the tie back to Superman, so there's already been that introduction, but she has disappeared for her birthday to celebrate, and he's constantly checking in on her, which I liked that tie-in, especially when I go back to seeing how he was in his movie, which was, he was very like empathetic, like caring, like, hey, how are you doing? Just checking in on you. Like, I want you go do you have a blast. But
he wasn't trying to be intrusive, but yeah,
he was being a big brother.
He was being a big brother, but at the same time, he's also like, I'm aware that we're also kind of strangers. We're family, but we're also strangers. We haven't known each other for that long. And you can tell he wants to just like
fix it,
give her a big bear hug kind of thing, but he also doesn't want to scare her away.
Right.
And I feel like that's the line that he's trying to play it.
And I thought that was a really nice tie-in. So Supergirl goes on this adventure unwillingly at first, but then with crypto getting poisoned and how they changed that lens.
Yeah.
Now they're on this journey to find the antidote.
Yes.
And so as they're going through this journey, it's I liked the action that was in it. So there was a couple different fight scenes at a couple different points in time, which I thought all the fight scenes were really good. I didn't have an issue. Again, I think that's why I was like, oh, was it the best fight scene that I've ever seen? No. But was it bad, or it felt over animated or CGI? No, I didn't think so. I thought it was pretty good. But when we are really talking about kind of like that push and pull, there was that another layer in there.
Creme is with this group that they take women and girls and stuff like that.
They kidnap them.
Yeah.
To build an all-men's race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's not in the comic book. In the comic, Krem works for, I think he works for a king. Like, he's part of like a royal guard and stuff. He's still like this jerk and stuff like that. But they added this aspect to it, which I think is fine, because it really wasn't even a big plot point. It wasn't even this plot point of Supergirl going, wait, he's also taking women. I got to stop him now because that's like a terrible thing. Like, it wasn't even that. It wasn't a focused thing.
It wasn't.
It's just something he did.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't a distracting piece to the plot. Instead, it just added the element to create more of the fight.
He's just evil.
He's evil. The fighting scenes that had happened, but through that search, they meet Lobo.
Jason Momoa is Lobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your take? Because I definitely have a take.
Okay, great. So thing is Jason Momoa is, I don't know if you know this, but when he was first casted as Aquaman in the Zack Snyder Justice League movies, when he auditioned to be Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, I originally thought I was going to be playing Lobo in the very beginning because I got called in. I auditioned for Batman, and I almost didn't do it because I was like, this is silly. It's not going to be me. Why am I auditioning for Batman? Anyways, I got called in the office, and I was just like, well, do you know who you're going to play? And I'm like, yeah, Lobo. Yeah. Of course. He's the only one that can fight Batman and Superman. He's like, what? Lobo? I'm like, no, he's not in this universe. I was like, what? What the hell am I supposed to... What the hell am I supposed to play?
Oh, that's funny.
And man, I wish he would have taped it because he was like, Aquaman. I'm like...
Me?
What the f*** are you talking about?
I just can't imagine that conversation. Like,
So then
you didn't get Batman, but we have Aquaman for you. I mean, it reminds me of the Big Bang Theory, where it's like, I don't want to be Aquaman again. Like,
Fine, if Zach's gonna be Superman, I want to be Green Lantern.
But I'm Green Lantern.
You can be Aquaman.
I don't want to be Aquaman. He sucks.
Lobo's always been one of his favorite characters. When James Gunn took over, he immediately reached out to him and was like, Lobo, Lobo, Lobo. So I am very happy to see him play Lobo. Lobo is Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is Lobo. Now, with all of that being said, everyone on the internet, I think, is praising Lobo, and I think they're praising him because of everything I just said.
maybe we'll have the same opinion. Go ahead.
Lobo wasn't necessary for this movie.
Oh, interesting.
He's not in the original Woman of Tomorrow comic. So adding him, I thought, oh, this is going to be an interesting thing. They're either going to team up because he is a bounty hunter, or Krem is really working for him or something. Like I wasn't sure how they were going to have Lobo in this story. So those were the two working theories that I had. Movie comes out. He is just a bounty hunter and stuff like that. And they do treat Lobo how Lobo is. He randomly will come into a story and then he will randomly disappear and walk out of the story. That's Lobo. Okay. This is my issue though with Lobo now, is that he is someone that can go toe to toe with Superman. He can exchange the same punches. You know, is he as strong as Superman? No, not quite as strong, but they can go toe to toe in a fight. He is immortal, so he can come back from a punch, very easily. So my biggest thing is now we're going to skip a little ahead of the story, is we get from one point where we're seeing Lobo, he's doing a bunch of action stuff, and then he's locked up in Krem's ship. He's in a jail cell. And I'm just thinking, someone as strong as Lobo and as chaotic as Lobo, if you're going to show him get locked up, I need to see how someone like Krem locked him up. Because
he explained it.
He did? I don't remember.
Yeah, he
maybe I was too in my head then and I didn't hear the explanation.
Well, he alluded to he intentionally got captured because they had this motorcycle.
Okay, so
they had taken his bike and he wanted on the ship. So I was under the impression like he said something and I was like, oh, he allowed them to capture him.
Then I'd have to rewatch that then. But I still feel like that's weird that he would allow himself to get captured. Like if he just needed to get on the ship and all right, he's breaking chains and he's punching people in the face and
taking them out
and taking his motorcycle then.
Yeah.
I still don't see him being locked up for that, or then needing Ruth to come up with an escape plan. It should have been Lobo then with the escape plan, and Ruth following suit with him.
I took a different lens because I guess maybe I don't know the lore with Lobo. So my impression was maybe I misread the situation too, so we'll both have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
But I thought he intentionally was taken. I thought he didn't need Ruth. It was almost like a little bit of Supergirl letting her play into herself.
I'm not saying that he needed Ruth. It's just he wasn't doing anything.
Because I felt like he didn't need it. Again, he was just kind of like playing the moment.
And again, for a character like Lobo being that strong, I guess I needed to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that's where I was coming from so from my perspective, I read it as he almost has so much power. He could have probably just done exactly what you said, but that wasn't what he needed to do in that moment. And he was making a deliberate choice to not go full bulldoze into things. And he kind of was just kind of sitting back. But I didn't have the context of he typically comes in and out of comics, because I was just kind of like, where is he? I thought there would be a team up. I don't know about him. I expected with Jason Momoa being the actor, I just expected there to be this of Lobo, where it was almost just a taste. So now the context helps put that into perspective.
But I still felt like we were going to get more than just a taste, though.
Yeah, and I felt like it was.
And again, sorry, spoiler, but what you see of Lobo in the trailers is what you see of him in the movies, with an extra 30 seconds before and after those shots you see in the trailer. But that's what you see, and that's it. And not that the storyline needed more Lobo. It's just if you were going to put him in there, I feel like he should have had a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that they will bring him back?
Oh,
then?
Absolutely. It's Jason Momoa. It's Lobo. At some point, you got to see him fight Superman. That's just criminal if you don't do that for comic
Especially
book fans.
After you've done the introduction.
Exactly. And so, but overall, I was still very happy to see Lobo. I just wanted more of Lobo. That's it.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. And I thought he did do him. Well, I guess I can't say justice because I don't know the lore, but I was like, yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And when I feel that, I'm like, success.
And for the people on the internet saying he was just being Jason Momoa, that's what we wanted Lobo to be. That's why everyone was excited.
He was casted.
Yeah, that's why we were excited he was casted as Lobo. So I want Jason Momoa doing Jason Momoa things as Lobo.
Exactly. So we've kind of just progressed the movie, I think, faster than what it really was, because it was a really good movie. There was a lot of that depth and back and forth of explaining about grief. But through that battle in the search for Krem, we did get a peek into Supergirl, and I think we shouldn't skip over that, especially when we're talking
Krypton.
about her origin story.
Krypton and Argo City.
Yeah, I did not know about this. So is this true to the comics?
Yes.
So to kind of catch people up, again, spoilers, which this whole podcast is. But I thought their planet exploded and that was it. They sent off Clark or Superman, they sent him off to planet Earth and that was it. So I was very puzzled of where did Crypto come from? Where did Supergirl come from? Prior to this movie and stuff. How did they come about? They weren't in the little pod. And this movie basically explained that they knew the planet was on a self-destruction path. It was going to implode. They created this sphere of protection. And unfortunately, not everybody on the planet made it into this sphere. And that portion of the planet, was taken from the bigger rock. Yeah, the big planet explodes except for this portion, and they live successfully for years, and that's where she was born. But then they realized, there's always a cause and effect, and the effect of, living these years on this isolated planet, they didn't really understand what was underneath it.
Yeah. So, yes, this is what happens in the comics, except they did change Supergirl's origin slightly.
Okay.
So Supergirl technically is older than Clark. So
Okay, so that was a little different.
She is older. She actually lived on Krypton and Argo City. So she experienced the loss of Krypton and then the loss of Argo and, her whole family. So her grief is a little bit stronger. She is truly the last Kryptonian. Clark is the last Kryptonian by association. Grew up in Kansas. He didn't know anything of Krypton until a particular age. And even at that, he still doesn't know that much about Krypton. He knows Earth. He knows Earth customs. He knows all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Supergirl does not. She knows Krypton. So she really is the last Kryptonian. And so that is a slight change. The reason why, though, in the comics, she comes across as younger than Clark when really she's older is because when she was sent in her space pod, it went through a black hole. And because of how black holes work, and they deal with like kind of time manipulation and stuff like that, she ended up arriving to Earth after Clark did, but she is now younger than him, even though technically she's old. She was born before him, and she's technically older. I feel like that is a lot to explain for a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. So I think their adaptation worked. She still had the grief of losing her family and Krypton and all of her people. She still had this love of the culture of what Krypton was, even if her experience was only on Argo City. It was all still there. I don't think that her needing to go through a black hole or living on Krypton was something super, super significant that the casual movie-going audience needed to see.
I'm worried you're not going to find your people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Clark. I have no people.
I feel like people on the internet actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than what they are allowing themselves to, because there are some criticisms that I'm going, that is a wild criticism. People are saying this is a terrible superhero movie, and I'm just like, it's.
Well, our algorithms are always different.
It is.
But, and I can't say that I've really seen a lot of opinions, but that's unfortunate that people are saying that it's a terrible superhero movie. Not everything is going to be Avengers. Avengers level, Endgame level, Infinity War level isn't that level without the past history.
Without these small little ones.
You can't get there without it.
No.
So if you want something more, you're either on the journey or you're not. You're on the bus or you're not on the bus. If you're on the bus, then chill.
And that's what I mean by people, if you want Supergirl to be Avengers level quality, show up for this movie. So then that way the next one, investors go, all right, yeah, we'll put in the money for it.
Yeah.
We'll give them their Avengers level Supergirl movie.
And, after, COVID was such a hard time for everybody in the world, period. One of the things that I feared was the lack of people going into the theaters again and having that experience because of the proximity and all the stuff. But now with you have the COVID piece of that's now we're all kind of past, but you have the streaming part and how quick things can go, and I'll just watch it. It's much cheaper. I'm not paying. To go to the movies, it's expensive. It's an expensive thing. And so for me, we always have that battle in our home. Like, hey, do you want to go to the movies? And it's like, but it's going to be on streaming in like 2 months. I'd rather not pay for it. I'm going to the theater. I'm buying the ticket because I believe it's my personal investment. My ticket is investment to the future of
the franchise.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. Maybe it's the nostalgia of it. I think, who knows, going to a theater could be like going to watch a drive-in movie where it's still there, but it's just in pockets. But I hope we don't lose the theater atmosphere.
Yeah, I agree.
It's such a fun time. Overfilling your popcorn with all that butter and salt. And
I'm at the age where the butter's starting to upset my stomach.
You're getting old. But yeah, so that's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but I guess the last thing that I really have to say about Supergirl, and the thing that I think is bothering me the most about everyone's criticism is everyone, again, they're holding themselves back from enjoying it because they say, I'm giving this a 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. That's like the range that I'm seeing. Somewhere from 4 to 6 is the range that they're giving them. And they would say, I would rate it higher if it wasn't for that final song at the end in the final action scene where they did the acoustic song version of The Middle. And where Ruth is in the center seeing all of the things going on in slow motion. Everyone is saying that is a terrible song choice, and that is why they're rating it so low. Which, again, why would you rate something? I mean, when you're looking at a scale from 1 to 10, and you say, oh, yeah, I would rate this higher, so I'd give it like what? What's higher to you? An 8 then? So
because of a song choice?
Because of one song choice. And I would argue that if it was Deadpool, if it was Star-Lord, if it was any of these other characters that did a song drop like that, people wouldn't care. Punisher, One Last Kill, Manucci sends all of these random people out, and he is murdering people crazy. And the song in the background is a French song, and La Vie Rose.
People are really just pulling the movie apart.
They are trying their best to not let themselves enjoy it. That's the issue.
Which is unfortunate.
And then other people are saying it's not the song choice. It's just if they use the original, so the original one where it's actually like the rocked out version and not, this acoustic version. I'm sorry, but this is from Ruth's perspective. Like this was her moment where the entire movie has been upset with Supergirl for not doing this exact thing. And now she's witnessing it, and not just witnessing it, I think having a realization of the raw power Supergirl has and just seeing what's happening around her. And also the satisfaction of finally, I'm
living up to what my parents hoped for me were.
Exactly. So because of all of that, an acoustic version of anything would have been great for that particular moment. And again, if it was Quicksilver, if it was any of these other characters, because these characters have used random songs like these before, and no one has ever cared in major action sequences. It has been done so many times.
If I could save time in a bottle.
I hear what you're saying. I agree. The song choice didn't impact my viewing of it. Again, how does a movie make me feel? Did I enjoy it? Did I feel something? I did enjoy it. I had emotion. I mean, your best bud, he's 8, and he was even emotional toward in it.
So what part got him?
For him, it's always the parents, which then,
really?
always makes me in any of the movies because in most movies,
I didn't know that's what gets him.
It's always the parents that go, and he loves me. So, it's always the part where he sees the parents. That's always hard for him.
Wow.
He's a very empathetic person, which I love, which creates his hard to control elements of him too, but that's the part that really got him. I mean, people would probably think the dog, but no, it was more the parents, and because he sees the story, and if it can touch an 8-year-old in that way, and then show the action and all of that, I feel like it was a good story.
I agree, and I guess the last thing that I'll say is that a lot of people are going to say the comic book was better. Okay, a lot of people think that books are better than the movies that come out.
What has ever come out in the history of movies where it was like
better than the original source material? Yeah. You're not going to get that.
Your algorithm is pretty negative.
Well, my algorithm is all comic stuff, and so I see all of the people's comments, opinions, and again, I'm just like, what was this Avengers? No. Was it Iron Man 1? No, but was it terrible? Was it Madam Web? Absolutely not. Not.
Let's see. So we will transition to this, but female superhero leading thing, was it better for you than Captain Marvel?
This, in my opinion, is the best female-led superhero movie because I felt like they did a great job of empowering women, empowering a female lead without having to say she's powerful because these men are terrible. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit on the nose where we don't always need on the nose. You can just show us how terrible a person is and show the woman being a badass. And I think that's what we got here. Well, they didn't need to explain to us that. They just showed us that.
And I think if, Captain Marvel was, I feel like that was a movie I feel like there was a lot of controversy around. A lot of people didn't like it, and then a lot of people loved it. Mm-hmm. And I would say the majority of people from my lens, or what was in my algorithm at the time, that loved it was that it was a female lead superhero that was just very this is... She just could take on everything. She was very powerful, whatever, her storyline, etc. And it was that female piece of it. And then when you compare her to Wonder Woman, another very strong, powerful superhero. But I think for me, what I really liked about Supergirl is there was an authenticity with her. She wasn't overdone. She wasn't sexualized in it. And not that Captain Marvel was either. She had a grittiness. Captain Marvel has a grittiness to her. She's not a Wonder Woman-esque female. Black Widow is very sensual.
But what was also common about all of those movies is there was usually a man that was holding them back, and that was a very focus plot point of those movies, where in Supergirl that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it was her.
It was just her.
And I think that
it was just them trying to get this antidote.
And actually, now that you say that, it makes me makes me feel a little bit differently about that movie, because when I'm reflective, and you are right, it was her holding herself back. And how much and how often do we look at women and they're just holding themselves back because they're afraid of their true power and their true strength. And Supergirl represents that. And I mean, what a great role model, actually, when we get to that. So now I might be tipping to the 8 when we really think about the message in the story.
The best message Supergirl gave was that just be good, but that doesn't mean you always have to be kind.
All right, so that was a lot about Supergirl. Really encourage. It's still in theaters. Go watch it.
Go see it.
Go see it.
Support the DC universe.
If you want more,
even if it's not exactly what you want.
Yeah, if you want more, show up. That's what it comes down to. And then stream it as a rewatch. Yeah.
So next in DC, we got the Lanterns TV show coming out in August, and then we have the Clayface movie in October.
Man, there's a lot to catch up on. I am behind.
Not in DC. You're caught up in DC.
What are you
talking about?
I feel like I'm behind. When I look at my to-do list, I'm kind of behind. I'm going to have to figure out how to slate this in. All right. So moving to our next topic, just kind of like a quick...
No, I think we're done. I think this is a lot for today.
Oh, okay. All right. You don't want to do our quick little...
No, because we're going to need a moment for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we're done with the Supergirl topic, I think we probably can wrap up for today, since it's been
I think so. Morning. So if you've been enjoying this, be sure, subscribe, share with your friends, please. If you've been enjoying the content that we've been putting out, share. Or if you feel like that someone needs a little bit of explanation on Supergirl, or needs an idea on what to expect for something like this that they've never dipped their toes in, share it with them. Share it.
Yeah. Share, subscribe, follow. And where can everybody find us? Because we're expanding where you can find us.
We are at Austine and Alex, and you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube. So again, please share, and follow. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
And happy 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. Happy 4th. We got to go party. Let's go.
Let's go party. All right. Take care, everyone.
All right. Bye. which leads me to probably my last thing, which is now that they're becoming older, boy, can they talk back. Boy, do they have opinions.
You do have sassy kids, I will say.
And
they are opinionated.
They are opinionated, and that means I'm raising them well, so I'm very proud of that. But I'm the one that gets the brunt of it. Really, no one else does. Everyone's like, your children, they're so wonderful, they're so polite. And then I'm with them at home, and it's like, woof, it's a lot. But I say that because it was one of the days this week. I'm trying to sleep in, relax, and I'm on my phone. And your best bud comes into my room, and he crawls into bed with me, and I feel like it's going to be a sweet moment. And he's watching his iPad, and he's in his zone. I'm in his zone. He puts his hand on my back and is like, just, oh, good morning, mommy, all the things. I'm like, oh, whoa, I'm just blessed. This is a great kid. And I happened to come across one of our clips on our social media, so one of our Instagram posts, and it's of us reviewing the podcast. And he, without a beat, was like, I love you, mommy. I love you so much. Even if you have a terrible podcast voice, I love you. So really, if no one likes my voice, I really don't care, because even my kids don't like it, and they have to live with it. So
that is amazing.